All right. What's going on, everyone? This is Zen here from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So, this week coming up is, well, it already started today, but this week is going to be I can't even talk, cartoon multiverse week. And what that means is I'm going to get into a whole bunch of nostalgic type of cartoons and do a whole bunch of content on that this coming week. And I dropped a video on Samurai Jack. I just kind of went through a summary and I did the ending explain. So that's what this week is going to be. I'm going to do a couple of theory videos and more lives when it comes to some of that nostalgic cartoon goodness, right? Now, if you were born in the 80s and you were born in the 90s, you definitely know about Samurai Jack, right? Uh, I think Samurai Jack was from when did it end? I don't even remember when it ended, right? I was kind of the legacy days of Cartoon Network before it was dismantled, right? Really, I would say the core of Cartoon Network, for me in particular, comes from uh, Toonami, right? Toonami. I remember the days when I would run home from school just to catch Toonami and definitely to get Dragon Ball. But Samurai Jack was a really great show just because of the concept, some of the lessons that were involved in Samurai Jack, but also I would definitely say the artistic style at the time was pretty unique, right? It was very different from cartoons that we saw throughout uh, the cartoon landscape. Artistic geek for life. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, there's a couple of theories. Now, I'm gonna see how the video does, and then I'll get into some like theories. But one of the things with Samurai Jack, the premise about it is basically there's a samurai who, for lack of better words, defeats this demon called Aku, and Aku utilizes a spell and sends him forward in time. They need to bring the show back. I feel like they do need to bring the show back for a proper ending. Uh, or maybe it's the ending. The ending is the way it is, right? I don't want to say that I'm looking for a more wholesome ending where he feels good about it. How do you feel about the ending? Yep, that's what I was just saying, Logan. What's going on, brother? So the ending was bittersweet, right, for Samurai Jack, and the ending is basically because he. Thanks for the likes, guys. Because Ashi is the daughter of Aku, when he went back in time to defeat Aku, Ashi no longer existed. Now, it was messed up. And the reason why it was messed up, because through all the trials and tribulations that Jack went through, he lost the love of his life, basically, right? And I felt like Jack deserved to have some kind of good happen to him, but it was it was short-lived, right? And what happened next was she faded away. And what we did get later on was a ladybug. Now, a lot of folks were like, what? Where did this ladybug come from and what does it mean? Now, I didn't mention it in the video that I did a little bit earlier today, but he, we saw the ladybug a couple of times. And in a lot of cultures, especially Japanese culture, the the ladybug represents good luck, but also uh, companionship and a whole lot of other things. So it's very reminiscent to feel lucky that Jack feels lucky to have had um to have her, right? And it felt good for her. It felt good for him, right? Let me go back to the comments. Personally, I think it went way too fast. Like final battle, the ending of the show happened in less than 4 minutes. That is so true. I must agree. Because basically they went back in time and Jack was just wilding out, right? For good reason, of course. He utilized all the skills that he's learned, through his hero's journey, for lack of better words, and defeated Aku. But it did happen really fast. I felt like they could have just, I don't know, drew out the battle a little bit more. But it does make sense because Jack was full-fledged version of himself by that time. So any tactics that Aku was gonna make, he couldn't make because number one, he was surprised, and number two, Jack was just like on a different level at this point, which for Aku was only about 10 seconds, right? He sent him away, and he was like, da 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 da, and then Jack came back like a boss, right? Um, I want Samurai Jack live action to get the guy who plays Shang-Chi. Oh, that would be pretty dope. I would be down for a Samurai Jack live action movie. I think they could do that really well. Director, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing good. Appreciate you for being here. Also, Ashi, along with the sisters of who weren't introduced until the last season, should have intertwined it more with with the first four seasons. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like they kind of just like threw something out there. I'm not gonna lie, for the last season with the daughter, to give him some kind of a love interest with that bittersweet ending. Now, the ending is a little bit different though in the video game. In the video game, he gets a good ending, so to speak. I don't know if you guys played the video game that came out. Mako was longer with those. I'm not in full support of this. Mako? Wait, who do you mean? Who do you mean? Where can I stream this show? Oh, I'm not too sure, Autistic Geek, where you could stream the show. Yeah, because Cartoon Network is no longer there, right? Which is really surprising for me. I didn't know that until someone mentioned that. Oh, the voice of Aku. I know he passed away before they could film season five. Yeah, season five, they weren't able to cast him because he had passed away before the show, but they used sound bites from him in order to, you know, to have his voice there. And he had a really, like, I could think about his voice and it just pops up. You know what I mean? Really great voice. Is the Oh, it's on Hulu. Okay. Is the game canon? Not to see here, I don't know if it's canon, but here's how I take the ending of Samurai Jack. My long Dumpy, yeah, it is an excellent show. The ending for the video game version for me is like an alternate timeline, which leads into a whole lot of theories that folks have. That's why I want to make some videos on like theories, depending on a folks comment in that video that I did earlier. Theories, right? Is there a Samurai Jack comics? Yes, there is. And I haven't personally read the comics, but I do want to get into the comics because I want to see, does it expand the lore or does it only give us a little bit more into the lore? Kind of like what you said earlier. Who said it earlier? Logan was talking about the sisters, right? Uh, or the daughters of Aku rather, and maybe they give a little bit more lore into it. Maybe not, right? Samurai Jack slash dad of Powerpuff Girls. Yo, imagine Ghost in the Shell. That'd be dope. Uh, wow, that made me think for a second. Sorry, I paused because that made me think. JW, what's going on, brother? Yeah, there's so many theories. There's a theory that Jack is immortal, and I'm not too sure if that's actually a theory or that's truth. And the reason why is because Jack hasn't aged throughout the entirety of the show. He's only progressed, right? Physically and also mentally. But throughout the whole entirety of the show, he's been uh, pretty much the same age. And that's because of the spell, right? Uh, you got a fave episode, amigo? A fave episode. I don't have a fave episode for Samurai Jack. Uh, I'm trying to think. No, I don't have a. Do you guys have a favorite episode for Samurai Jack? For me, I don't really have a favorite episode. It's just I love the episodes. I can't remember the title of the episode. I love the introspective episodes that get a little meta, where he's kind of overcoming himself mentally because it leads into that martial arts kind of like mentality that I study and that I'm a person of, right? So kind of like you get in the way of yourself from overcoming what you can overcome because you hold yourself back. So I think he's a really cool character. He ages a little bit. He met himself older when he couldn't be himself. No, well, the thing about that is, okay, he met himself as an older version of himself. I remember that, right? But then he himself hasn't aged, but he's been in the show for a while. The question could be, well, we could say he's not immortal, but then he has longevity because he looks exactly the same. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you guys think? But it's an interesting concept. The 90s and the early 2000s cartoons was the best. For me, it was 80s and 90s were the best. 2000s, question, Autistic Geek, what was your favorite 2000s cartoon? That way I could kind of get maybe a little bit of you know, he's not immortal. It was like in season two. Got it. The polite episode was so cool. I can't remember them. The titles at least. If you give me a little bit of can't think of a fave, but at least is definitely that goddamn shoot episode. Oh, yes, yes. Definitely didn't love that episode because of the timeline anomalies. Yes, yes. Yeah, there's so much that goes on. There's another theory that Jack is in a perpetual cycle, right? Would this be a grand? No, because the show makes it seem like there's a linear timeline, but then because of the anomaly, some people are thinking that he is going through a perpetual cycle. But also, there's a little bit of the grandfather paradox theory that's going on too. Like everything was meant to be. There's another theory which I don't believe that this is rational theory. There's another theory that Aku is actually the father of Jack, which I don't think so. It's not truly plausible, but that would also lead him to fall in love with his sister. Technically, if that was the case, the timeline anomaly is one of those Nate Gray things. Yeah, yeah. Or how many cables and stripes things. Yep. Yeah, there's so many different theories, and I love it because nothing is ever confirmed and nothing was ever denounced either, right? Um, but the I would hate it if Jack was in a perpetual time loop. You know what I mean? Like because that seems like a prison of sorts, right? Him trying to do good for him to just like reset and never be happy, you know? But I would love to see, I do agree, I would love to see Samurai Jack come back. And if it was to come back, same voice actors, everything like that, but nothing else that changes truly, except for him either escape him, well, not escaping, he already made his way back, but maybe him mentoring someone else, right? Talk about Dragon Ball and I might be interested. Well, tell me about what you like about Dragon Ball. We're primarily talking about like cartoons, like early 90s cartoons. Dragon Ball is life for me. However, I do like the Origins episode where they go in depth about Aku's backstory. I love those episodes. I really did like those episodes because it gave us a better understanding of Aku. Um, because when when they just drop villains as like, oh, they're ultimate bad guy, often we'll ask why are they the ultimate bad guy? What led them to be bad? And I love episodes that give origin stories because you kind of get an understanding for the villain as character and why they are the way they are. Uh, I guess in season five, I do like the intro, well, not the revelation rather, that um Asha is his daughter, and I like when uh he was like when he was like he's like I smell me, and then Jack is like what? Like he's about to. And then Aku's like, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. And then Jack actually stops. And then he's like, and then he smells her. And then he's like, that's when we get the kind of like, oh, okay, she was one. He dropped off something for the high priestess. Well, the daughters of Aku, basically. And then she drank something, and that's how she got impregnated, I guess. Um, but what's funny about that is that he had a hard time remembering it. So it's kind of like, is that what actually happened, or is that what you kind of remember? You know? So, my favorite cartoon was the Powerpuff Girls. Oh man, the Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that's a good lineup right there. Powerpuff Girls was great in terms of I would say storytelling overall was just like simplistic, but also got very detailed. Courage the Cowardly Dog, oh my goodness, I could dissect every single episode, and there's so many theories for that show. Which is I'm probably gonna cover in this week's type of videos because I'm doing cartoon multiverse videos this coming week. Teen Titans, Digimon was really good, but it did well with the final episode. Yeah, I would say if Samurai Jack doesn't come back, JW, I would be satisfied. I am satisfied with the ending. Again, it was bittersweet. It didn't really feel that great to everyone, but you can't always have one of those endings that's like happy go lucky. Sometimes you have to have a bittersweet ending to kind of understand the hero's journey, right? And when I'm talking about the hero's journey, I'm referencing Joseph Campbell. Is it Joseph Campbell? Yeah, the hero's journey. Uh, Also, they show the origins of the sword. Yep, and it really impacted how I felt about season five whenever he lost it. Okay. Super favorite cartoon was Samurai Champloo. I'm one of those people who didn't watch Samurai Champloo, not because I didn't want to watch it. It's just I didn't. I think when it came out, it was on Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know. I just wasn't into it yet, and I might watch it. My dude literally just threw up into a bowl. Yeah, yeah, he did. Aku just like boom, and then I guess off screen where he kind of goes through the memories. I guess she basically just drank it and became pregnant. She had some of that demon juice in her, you know. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Hey Arnold, Very Odd Parents. There's so many theories for the Very Odd Parents. It's crazy. And I never really truly watched the show, but I kind of want to just because Real Monsters. I dropped that on my YT in my poll. So I do have a YT, so you guys could go out and check that out. Basically, a lot of the videos that I do here, they get replicated over there, and sometimes I do long form videos. But I put up a poll, put in your favorite cartoon, but I put up Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, and Real Monsters. And Courage, if I didn't say that. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. When my book drops, I will only have a happy or well end. Yeah, and I think, there was a lot of symbolism in the ending of Samurai Jack, and I felt like it was a great ending, but I think part of me wanted me to for him to celebrate with her, right? And for him to be married to her and have kids and things of that nature. But it didn't happen that way, and I'm okay with that. Some stories have to end in a way where not everything just feels great, right? I think he ended off just he ended off how he started, right? A lone samurai, and he reflected on his journey, but also gave that smile in appreciation of her when he saw the ladybug because he felt lucky to have her in his life. Uh, they need to bring back Invader Zim. That was dope. I didn't watch Invader Zim, so there's a lot that I didn't watch. Let's forget that season five exists. How would you play? Okay, that's a great question. How would I play off the ending? How would I play out the ending? Very similar though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 30 years old, born in 1992. I'm 80. I'm 84. Uh, but opinion on the theory that Jack is Professor's ancestor. Yeah, someone mentioned that earlier because the likeness is very the same. But hold on, I'm gonna get into that. If I was to play at the ending for Samurai Jack, honestly, I would play it out very similar. He went through his hero's journey. He came to forms of enlightenment, and he basically goes back to the first point of the movie. I think that's very poetic because I've seen many movies do that. Right, the the beginning is actually the ending. Right, and I would have played out very similar. But the only thing that I would change is how quickly the match went, right? I think I would make it a little bit more, not in terms of like the battle, but the philosophical communication that they would have with each other would be different, or the dialogue rather. I think it would be a little bit longer in Jack basically speaking to Aku and letting him know all of the things that he's experienced and why what Aku's doing needs to stop, like absolutely, like needs to stop right now. And he's not going to make any mistakes. He's not going to give him a chance, but he will let him know that Aku, I'm your ending, something like that. uh, opinion. Yeah, they brought in the love interest and Aku's daughter being the love interest in season five. I didn't feel like that was necessary. I just thought that he needed to go through his hero's journey. He needed to find a means to go back to the beginning so that the beginning never led to the show. Kind of like a timeline reset of sorts, right? And opinion on the theory that Samurai Jack is Professor's ancestor, I think that's absolutely amazing. I think it is so hyped to think about it because it leads me into certain manga, right? Uh, spoiler alert if you haven't for Fire Force, right? Fire Force is the prequel to what's the name of this one? Someone in the chat remind me, my anime lovers. I was about to say demon sword. What? Soul Eater. Soul Eater. Fire Force is the prequel to Soul Eater, and it reminds me of things like that, right? That they could be vastly different, some kind of connection, but at the same time different, right? So I wish they would just say, and I should do a video on that, that the professor is, or Jack is the ancestor of the professor who basically makes the Powerpuff Girls later on. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. I like thinking about it makes me hype. Something that doesn't leave you hanging, but something that you could pick up from book. I like that. I can't wait, JW. I really can't wait. And also, Chemical X is actually Aku or something. Yeah, because it's black, right? It's like goo. It's like goo, and that Chemical X basically. Oh man, it's so hype because here's the thing. I'm getting mad hype for no reason. So basically, they synthetically remade Essence of Aku and poured a little bit of that and everything nice. So they have the power, but the everything nice is what neutralizes and brings balance to the girls so that they could be the Powerpuff Girls. But then the question would be about Bliss because Bliss is not Chemical X, right? Bliss is she's basically the original Powerpuff Girl. She's chemical something else, ZN or something of the nature. So, oh man, I remember Street Sharks. I just don't remember the plot of Street Sharks. I just know it was good guy versus bad guys. Also, let's remember that episode where he can't go into a portal because he has to come back later. Yep, the portal with the guard. That for me that was a little bit annoying. But I understood because it was kind of like in a video game when you're playing an RPG and you can't go forward because you're not strong enough yet, kind of thing, you know? So it would be drawn longer, like Luke in an Empire. Nice. Just realized that Jack at the end of the finale is the future Jack. Basically, yep, yep, you got it. Soul Eater, yep. Thank you, Mr. Barnable. Appreciate the likes, guys. Really appreciate it. Video Bird said it would have made more sense if Jack went back to before Aku sent him to the portal. Oh, I see. I see. I think they just wanted to make it kind of poetic, where the beginning is the end, but also the beginning. See, that makes me question things, right? And here's why, because did Jack actually go back to his timeline or did he just go back to a timeline? The reason why I'm questioning that, because if that's true, well, no, 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 no. It is still linear because, but what Jack just did was prevent. Oh, to see, that's crazy then, right? Because here's the thing: when Jack went back in time, right, with with his love, the love of his life, basically, who is Aku's daughter, did he reset everything from happening? Because that would mean every single interaction that he had with everyone when he went into the future never happened because he basically reset things when he destroyed Aku. Or did he go back into a variant timeline and just stay in that path line? You know what I mean? It's interesting to think about. You remember that one cartoon show on Cartoon Network with the two Asian girls? No, I don't. I don't. I don't. What time frame was that? Thanks for the likes. I really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate it. I met I got a pic of Joshua Seth, who's the tie-in for Digimon. Nice, nice. Is Ashi the original Powerpuff Girl with that theory then? Interesting. 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 Hold on. So hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to remember when they made Bliss, right? When they made Bliss, what did they put into? Oh man, now I have to go look this up because was when they made Bliss, they put chemical whatever. It's not chemical X, it's something else, right? And what was believed to be everything nice, right? But what was everything nice? A ladybug didn't go in there, right? Because if a ladybug did go in there, then it's getting wild because then we could say that Ashi was kind of reincarnated through uh, synthetic and basically not supernatural, but technological means, you know? Current. Oh man, that's crazy. Ionic, what's going on, bro? Oh, love Samurai Jack. Me too. You're saying his timeline. Okay, okay. But I'm not gonna go with the Powerpuff Girls being related to Jack, but it's funny. No, it's just cool to think about. You know what I mean? It's really amazing to think about. Remember the timeline anomalies? Also, Jack jumped all over timelines. I know. It's crazy. So that Jack wouldn't look like a barbarian warrior, right? Puffy Amelia. Oh, I never saw that show, JW. My favorite cartoon is Batman the Animated Series. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. Indeed, indeed, 100%. The song, the Teen Titans. There's okay. Chemical Y. It's Chemical Y. Okay, thank you, Video Bird. It was Chemical Y, and do we know? I feel like I should remember this. I just want to remember what were the other ingredients that went into Chemical Y. I know this is not all gonna connect, but it's fun to really think about, and to theorize these things. Um, so I'm looking it up right now. Bliss, and I made a video on her, but I can't remember the ingredients. I like Ben 10 and Generation X. Ben 10 is pretty cool. Chemical W, it was Chemical W. Professor Utonium created Bliss out of sugar, spice, and everything nice. Okay, okay, so okay, cool. Snake snails and puppy dog tails. Also, shout out the episode where Aku was so petty that he told lies to children. Oh, I remember that. That was kind of like a happy-go-lucky type of episode, kind of thing. My life as a teenager robot. That was nice to see that. I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't watch that. Um, yeah, I remember shows like you guys remember Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Of course, you guys remember that. Power Rangers, X-Men the animated TV show. So then here's a question. Tremel, what's going on, brother? So then here's a. Oh wait, remember that RPG episode where the kids show hosted the give? Yep, happy, yeah, I remember that too. So then here's a question, and I made a video on this, but is Bliss technically their sister? And the only reason why I'm saying that is because she was no, no, no. Well, it was basic. No, it they are sisters. I think I made an error in one of my previous videos in saying plutonium instead of utonium. Yeah, I like the male Powerpuff Girls. Oh, the Rowdy Rough Boys. Yeah, I gotta make a video on them too. I think they're pretty dope. Never watched it, but whenever Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go came on, I was flabbergasted. She would be their sister. Yeah, yeah. I was tricking myself. It's funny, and I made a video on her, and I'm like, it's because I'm trying to connect theories while I'm talking at the same time. But yeah, it's pretty dope. It's interesting to think about if there's connections. I definitely got to do a video. I'm gonna flesh out some of my thoughts so I could do a video on the connections between the professor and Samurai Jack. Uh, but I mean, it doesn't go farther than what I said already, right? It's pretty much it stops right there. I love Teen Titans. Yeah, the original Teen Titans was like absolutely amazing. It was based on a TV show from the 50s, from the 50s, who told kids, "Send me green paper with bearded guys." Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. Yeah, it's I definitely love early 2000s cartoons too. 90s cartoons definitely. Late 80s cartoons. Well, early 80s cartoons too. I wasn't like conscious, I guess. I was conscious, but I mean, in the sense that I didn't truly understand anything until the late 80s. That's when I got into like Transformers and like Thundercats and all of that jazz, right? Yeah, me too. The Power Rangers 30 year special. I feel like there's gonna be a twist in there because the question is, who's the Green Ranger? Who's the Green Ranger? Because we did see stills with the Green Ranger, right? I feel like they might wait, or did I make that up? Did I make that up? That we saw a Green Ranger still, or is because that's what I want? 30th anniversary Green Ranger. I feel like I made that. No, I didn't make that up, right? Or did I make that up? Yes, definitely rest in peace to JDF. Yeah, definitely gone too soon. You know how Cupcake is a 30s cartoon? Not really. We need a not really 2000s cartoons. Ah, I hear you. I hear you. That would be dope. How do you feel about the new TMNT movie? Uh, I'm not really excited. That's just me personally. I'm not really excited, and I'm not too sure why. I guess I guess the comic books are doing more justice for me right now when it comes to TMNT. So when they're like coming out with these movies, I'm just like, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm good. You know what I mean? Armageddon War for TMNT is really great. That's when Splinter passes away, and then Shredder is training the turtles, and they're learning these new abilities, mystical abilities, and I think it's pretty dope. And then Last Ronin was just absolutely amazing, and they're doing the lost years now. So I don't know. I'm fulfilled when it comes to TMNT. So the TV show is not really doing anything for me except rehashing the story origin again. But I'm open to be pleasantly surprised. But it's not going to be a movie that I'm going to go out to see unless my son wants to see it, and he's like, I don't think he's going to be like, yeah, I want to go see a TMNT. So yeah, I love my life as a teenage robot. Well, you made it up. It's contagious because I saw it too. I still can't believe JDF is gone. We were friends on TikTok and Facebook and real life. I yeah, life is crazy, and I think that's why we have to cherish the moments that we have, right? Not to sound corny or anything, but we also have to be okay with connecting with each other and opening it up to each other. Because if we're not able to do that, what happens is, while some of us might be okay with being alone, sometimes when you're alone for too long, you're alone in your thoughts. And sometimes your thoughts will lead you astray to do things that uh, will affect your future, but also affect the people around you. And I think maybe he was not maybe he was going through mental strifes and trials and tribulations that no one truly saw, but he was going through, right? And maybe he thought he couldn't speak to anyone about certain things. And yeah, I could only pretend to understand, right? The depths of the rabbit hole that someone could go through. But that's why I like things like this, right? That we're able to use technology in order to come together to basically talk to our tribe, because sometimes this could, for someone, right, watching a video or coming together to talk to people could be an element of relief, right, for a person. And you just never know. You just never know. And that's why it's important for me, to just give nothing but peace, love, and prosperity, and to send nothing but endless good vibes. And that's why my channel's name is Zen Multiverse, to immerse yourself into the things that you love to do, and just be in the present, right? Right now, I'm completely in the present. I'm talking, I'm flowing, I'm in my flow state right now, and I'm engaging with all of you, right? Thanks for the follow, Logan. I appreciate you. The show with Raph was the leader was hot garbage. No offense, none taken. I would love to meet White Ranger Wild Force actress. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. I remember her. Video Bird say, "How Y2K is this? An emo, a pop star, and a fairy save the day with the magic phones as secret agents." But yeah, um, so guys, I'm about to hate to bring this to a close, but I am absolutely 100% hungry and I have to go eat. So I got to pick with Austin St. John. Yeah, I do regret going to some of these cons like earlier on. I would love to take a picture with JDF. Definitely was a great part of my childhood, 100%. So I am hoping that in the future I could go to future cons and take some pictures with like a lot of the actors and just have that in my memories. I think I owe it to my child self to do that. You know what I mean? And that's all. That's all. Just to have those memories. I mean, we take pictures for everything else. Why not take pictures with the people who impacted us as kids or gave us great memories as kids, right? So I kind of like that. Yeah, yep, yeah, exactly. I appreciate you, Logan. Appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna try to live tomorrow as well. But if I don't, it'll be Tuesday at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna see. I'm not too sure. But the next couple of videos that are gonna come out are basically everything that we've been talking about in terms of uh nostalgic cartoons, right? So I've been doing a lot of like Marvel and DC lore on my TikTok and also my YT, but the premise is really any fictional lore. So I'm doing themed weeks now. I should actually do like 80s and 90s and 2000s, but I'm gonna just leave it arbitrarily up to just any time period for the cartoon multiverse, right? The pink one, she's hot. Yeah, she is hot. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Check out the content on my channel. I just did the Samurai Jack video a little bit earlier. But with that being said, everyone, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content, you already know what to do. Share it, like it, comment on it, right? To create that engagement so we can bring our tribe together. If because some of our tribe members are probably not found yet. So if we could bring them into the multiverse, yes, it gets me views and things like that, but it also brings connection more importantly. So I'll catch you all later for the next one. Late 70s, 80s is my turf. Mine is 80s, 90s, and a little sprinkle of 2000s. Later, everyone.